Greetings, everybody. I'm John Hambone McGuire. I'm the co-creator and the publisher of 321 RPG. We are here tonight to do a live demo of 321 RPG, and we're so glad you took the time to join us. With me is some of my favorite people in the world, for the world and the hobby of RPGs, and also just day-to-day life, because they're all swell dudes, and I like them a whole lot. With me is joining us from Epic Levels, Dragon Warrior himself, Steve Albertson. We have Domingo from Mystic Punks, which has a book coming out very soon. We're going to tell you about that a little later. And coming in from out of the shadows and from out of his shell, the Neon Lord himself, Brian Shutter. We're going to have a crazy adventure night. It's called Avon by the Sea. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it in a minute. Thank you all if you've backed the 321 RPG backer kit, or if you're just getting notified because you wanted to know a little bit more about it, see how the game is played. We're here to show you how to do it. So 321 RPG runs off a single D10, and it's a roll under your stat kind of game. And we're going to get you grooving on some action and some adventure in a little town called Avon by the Sea. So it's the year 2012. The Avengers have just assembled for the first time on the silver screen. The Jersey Shore is in its fifth season, and if you were lucky, Carly Jepsen would call you maybe. And for these young people who are down at the Jersey Shore, they're there with their families. They're there on vacation when Hurricane Sandy hits and wipes out most of the ways in and out of town, stranding them there for a little bit longer than they expected. So why don't we go around the virtual table, and we'll have each of you introduce your characters. We're going to start with you, Chucky.
Right. Chucky, but I want you all to call me Baron Fangs. I'm a punk, horror movie fanatic. I'm interested in making people uncomfortable to make myself feel better. Um, Back home, I have a hardcore band that I've started. None of us know how to play our instruments yet, but we're figuring out little bits as we go. I'm 15 years old. My other hobby is that I have a shoplifting scheme going on with some friends and other employees at the local mall. So I'm getting a bunch of petty cash to buy more bondage gear and fingerless gloves.
It's perfect. And I knew guys like you growing up, so this is it's right here. It's close
Yeah.
to my
And
heart.
I hate the beach, and that I'm dragged out to the beach is a nightmare for me. So I like to make it a nightmare for everyone around me.
All right, very cool. Rhonda, tell us a little
Okay,
about yourself.
my name is Rhonda, and I'm age 13, and I am a very smart young lady, but who is kind of smaller than the people around her, and she uses her wits to kind of overcompensate sometimes for her size. She loves going to the beach, and she's excited about this family vacation that she's going on with her family because she wants to become a marine biologist and she loves sea life. And she's constantly reading the books. And, I'd imagine she has braces and the kind of trope of the younger sister. And the one thing I love to do is annoy my older brother, Charles, who loves to be called Baron Fangs, but we know him as Charles.
I told you to call me Baron Fangs.
Awesome. All right, finally, the last member of the squad, Bobby Blake. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Bobby Blake, 14, I believe. Yes, 14 from Hohokus, New Jersey. I am on the football team, and we are the Bears. Go Bears. I just looked it up. It's real. um, I came, obviously, family vacay, but, here to check out all the girls on the beach, as a normal 14-year-old would probably do. Maybe hit some skee ball if the time permits.
Very cool. So let's tell you all a little bit more about Avon by the Sea, which I'll probably have to change the title to Avalon by the Sea because there actually is an Avon by the Sea in New Jersey. It is a small, almost island. There's a couple bridges that lead in and out over the water. There is a beautiful white sandy beach. There is a boardwalk. It's a smaller boardwalk, but it's got all the major attractions. It's got the games. It's got the carousel. It's got a haunted house that has been called Dracula's Castle since the early 70s. Um, There are mostly bed and breakfasts, mostly smaller hotels to stay at. You are all staying at the motel called the Fleur de Lis. It's one of the oldest motels in town, and it's not like a by the hour roadside motel. This is a beautiful motel with a full swimming pool, a little miniature golf course upstairs on the third floor, and a beautiful Fleur de Lis in neon light along the side of the building that you can see from the beach at night, kind of guiding you home back to where your parents are staying. Now, you've been coming down to this area for a while, so much so that you are no longer referred to by the local kids as Bennies. Now, for those who are watching at home, Benny is a somewhat affectionate term that people who live down the shore refer to people who come down on vacation, and there's several different ways to go about it. I first learned it as Bergen, Essex, Newark, New York, which are several counties, and New York City as well. Now, places of note in this town, there's the ice cream shop. There is a mom and pop burger shop that everyone likes to go and eat at. It's open somewhat late for burgers, late being around midnight, opens early in the morning for breakfast. There's a comic book shop in town. I told you about the boardwalk and the attractions on the boardwalk. There's also, and this is kind of interesting, an ice cream parlor that is owned by a disabled veteran named Bridget Branson. And she's kind of rough around the edges to the adults, but she is sweet as pie to the kids who come to town and is always willing to add an extra scoop to the cones of those who are very polite and very friendly. So pretty much never to Baron Fangs. So you've been there over a week. Your families are all friendly at this point. You know, you've been staying at the Fleur de Lis for a while now. But when the hurricane hits, it does take out the bridges that go over the water. That will get you in and out of town the easiest. Any kind of road that leads out of town, trees have fallen. Some of them become washed out. So you're estimated to be stuck there for an additional 3 to 6 days while the debris is cleaned away because this is a statewide event. This hurricane hit everyone very hard. If you were in New Jersey in 2012, you definitely know. There's a shortage on gas currently. But, you know, your kids, it's summertime. I will say that the sky is very dark.
Mm. Ominously dark.
Ominously dark. Now, this is also August, uh,
Mm.
and it's unseasonably cool for August. Now,
Mm.
we're going to start our adventure. You guys are at the ice cream parlor, and there is scuttlebutt going on. You overhear some of the adults talking about people who are missing. And, you know, things happen in a hurricane, but this seems a little bit different. They're kind of talking in kind of like hushed tones in the corner, kind of like looking over, trying to make sure that no one's listening. What do you guys do?
Hey, Ro, last time there were floods like this, there was a little girl about your age and she got washed away, and then they found her face half ripped off hanging on a branch just down the street from here.
Okay, shut up, Charles.
What's the matter, Ro? Are you scared of the dark?
Not scared, but I do want to know what they're talking about. So I would like to find a way to get closer in my small size. I'd like to overhear what they're mumbling, see if I can get any more information about
All
these
right,
missing.
give me an action check. So just roll at or below your stat. Not no penalty, no bonus.
Um, I pass 4.
Okay. So you manage to slide over there and you kind of duck into the booth behind them. And what you hear is this. Um, Bill Jones went out looking for people, trying to make sure that no one was in danger after the hurricane, making sure that no one was hurt or harmed. And he disappeared 2 days ago. We just found his body, and it was missing a lot of blood. We couldn't really figure out where the blood went. And he was very, very blue.
Hmm.
And it kind of lines up with that other thing that happened back in the 70s, but like I don't know how the two could be connected. And you notice that the people who are talking is the city councilman, um, Mr. Smith, and the local deputy. And this is a younger guy who's on the job. He's freshly out of the academy, um, and he is the city councilman's nephew, uh, James, and he wants everyone referred to as Officer James. And he's like kind of like looking around, and he's got one of those hats on. He takes the hat off, and he's kind of like looking. He's like, "So, if you want, I think we need to take a better look at the body. We're not going to be able to get it down to the morgue, obviously, but we could bring it down to City Hall and just take a look at it in the basement." One of the local doctors said he's going to come by later. Just come in the side door. And
Anything else?
that's it. He kind of like looks around again, and they shake their heads. And as he's walking off, Bridget's comes out from behind the counter, and she's just got Sundays. And she's like, "Well, the freezer is at the point where I can't keep things cold anymore, so ice cream for everybody on the house." And so Bridget comes out, and she's handing out Sundays, and giving Sundays out to people, putting Sundays on the table. And like she walks over to you specifically, Baron Fangs, and she gives you that look, and she says, "Baron Fang." She puts a big Sunday in front of you, gives you kind of a smile. You guys have been frenemies all summer, but she's kind of giving you a little credit here. But what you do notice, though, Baron Fangs, is that as she turns and she walks away, you can see like her apron kind of parts over to the side a little bit and kind of sways as she turns. And you notice like strapped to her thigh is a combat knife. And she kind of like tucks it around her, tucks the apron back around her thigh, and just giving out ice cream to everybody.
I'll point it out to, is Bobby next to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll point it out to Bobby and be like, "How many people do you think she's killed with that knife, Bobby?"
Well, just one if you keep that up there, pal.
I lick my ice cream really close to Bobby's face.
I want to slip back into that booth with Bobby and Charles.
Okay.
And say, well, I overheard the grown-ups. They were saying there were other bodies. There was a body found. Bill Jones, I think is his name, and he was drained of blood and he was blue. So obviously, lampreys, sea life is running muck here at Avon by the Sea.
There's no way it's lampreys around here, and I'll pull out my hip hop style grill that has vampire fangs on it and put them into my mouth. And I'm like, around here, there's only vampires that suck the blood out. And then I'll like take a giant bite of my ice cream. And
Ew,
then
you're gross.
brain freeze. Ah!
Where are you from in Jersey, real quick? Or are you not from Jersey? You like from like
I don't know where.
No, we're from Murphy. No, I don't.
Oh, from Murfreesboro. Okay.
Okay, so that's what, like, where is that?
It's a good distance from where you are.
All right.
It's closer to the shore, but like much further when you are. So basically, where you are, Brian, you're about 2.5 hours from Avon by the Sea.
So clearly you don't know your New Jersey history, and it's not vampires. We're dealing with the Jersey Devil boys and Rhonda.
I don't know if the Jersey Devils real or not.
None of that stuff is real, you stupid idiots. Lampreys, it's sea life. We're here at the sea. It makes complete sense.
Well, how far from the Pine Barrens are we, though? Sorry, Rhonda. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I would say off the top of my head, you're probably about 40 minutes from the Pine Barrens.
Yeah. Typical hunting grounds for Jersey Devils.
Well, what's the MO for a Jersey Devil versus a blood-sucking fiend of the night?
I would assume they're just the East Coast Chupacabra.
I mean, there's a chart that shows the similarities. Venn
I
diagram.
honestly couldn't, off the record, couldn't tell you.
Well, look, I have a friend
It is
that
2012, so somebody
once,
might have our actual cell phone.
yeah,
Yeah.
there is a friend of mine that said that he fought the Jersey Devil, but then he told me that it wasn't actually a Jersey Devil and that it was just a guy in a suit that was running around trying to hack up kids.
Was he dressed as a clown? I heard those are a thing.
And
A
he's
lot of
dressed
weird
like
stuff happens in
He
New
was the
Jersey.
Jersey
a
clown.
They wrote this.
Talon Devil.
He was dressed like a juggalo.
Yeah.
Same thing. That's like the right in the middle.
So as this is happening, you hear the walkie-talkie for Deputy James go off, and it said, "Deputy, come in. Deputy over." He's like, "Shh," and he's like, "Yeah, Deputy here. I'm about to head out." He's like, "Go to a private channel now," and everyone hears this in the ice cream parlor, and he looks around and he just runs out the door.
Hmm.
Now it's about 9 o'clock at night at this point, but like it's a Jersey Shore. You would have been on the boardwalk at this hour anyway. It's not a big deal for kids your age to be out and about. Um, so he goes running out the door.
I'll run out after him and yell, "Hey, Officer Friendly, don't let the vampires suck all the blood out of you. I don't want to see you drained out here."
And you yell that as you're
Yeah,
running
as he
out the
runs
door.
out the door.
Are
And then
there,
I
you
look
guys?
back at Ro to show her how tough I am and how edgy I can be.
So you guys go running out the door as well.
Yeah, I'm like, Chucky, don't leave me.
So you go running out the door, and now next to the ice cream parlor is the local hamburger shop, Pop's Hamburger Shop, and you actually see Old Man Pop there, kind of standing outside of the door, like kind of like looking around, and he hears you yell about like "Don't let the vampires get you," and he kind of like looks at you, and he kind of like tilts his head. As the other two of you come running out, Bridget walks out behind you, and she's standing in the doorway, and she looks over at Pop, and looks over at you guys as you guys go running off. Now, where do you guys go running off to?
I'm following Chucky, but
Well, where does the cop go?
Okay, no need to roll for this, but the cop runs over to there is a little shack on the beach where they keep all of the, because you could rent them down there. You could get towels, you can get beach chairs, you can get umbrellas. And he goes running around towards it, and you come up kind of behind him in a way where you could kind of see it before he does because you're at a little bit of a higher elevation, but you see the surf shack, and from the surf shack you could see a pair of legs kind of sticking out from the other side of it, missing a shoe and a sock, and the foot is also a bluish hue. Each of you make a cool check +1. You're going to want to now you're going to add that one to your roll. You want to meet or beat your cool score.
I got
Under it or over it?
At or below.
Okay.
I got
I
a
got
6 of 7. I made it.
I failed with a 10.
4 of 6. I passed.
Now,
We've
Brian,
seen some dead bodies.
you could spend some luck points to make your cool check, or you're gonna scream. You're gonna be like, "Holy shit!"
I'll scream.
Okay. So you scream. You're also gonna take a cool penalty. So mark a cool penalty down. Now, how this works is if you get three cool penalties, all your stats drop by 1 because you're really scared, so it makes it harder for you to do things. So you got 1 cool penalty. Hey kid, you want to see a dead body? You have now. The deputy hears you and turns. He's like, "Kids, no, get away! Don't look! Don't look! Don't look!" And he does the thing where he's like trying to obscure your view of the body, but
I'm gonna stand as tall as I can and coolly lick my ice cream, and I'll be like, Whatever, Officer Crumpkey. I've seen a dead body before. We're from Jersey.
He's like,
And I
he's
put
like,
my arm around Ro, my little sister.
you kind of have a reputation in the town at this point. Like as one of the guys, like you come down for the summer, you're like, oh, he's here again. He's like, Chucky. He's like, why are you looking at me like that? He's like, stop it, stop looking at that ice cream cone, stop. Like his eyes can't like move from your eyes. He's like, just.
James, I go by Baron Fangs now, and then I bare my bejeweled fangs I'm wearing as I lick the ice cream.
Now
And then I'll hiss at him.
everybody's poured out of the ice cream shop. Everyone's poured out of the burger joint. Other people who are just kind of taking a nighttime walk come in and they see the body and people are like freaking out. People are like, oh my God, freaking out. And he's doing his best to try to cover it up. And he runs into the surf shack. He gets a towel. He covers it with the towel. He's talking to another deputy. Now, this town, there's no crime in this town ever that you know of.
There is when Chucky comes to town.
Yeah, yeah. It's more real crime, not petty crime. Yeah, and so there are maybe like 4 or 5 deputies for the whole town, tops, and you can see all 5 of them are now descending on the beach. So what do you guys want to do?
Can I roll quick to see if I notice who was dead?
You'd have to get closer to do that.
Ah,
And you can do that. You can make an action check for me. It's gonna be an action check +2 because you're gonna be trying to sneak around the cops.
all right. I failed.
You can spend luck points to make that roll if you'd like.
Well, how many luck points do I get?
Well, what's your stat for action?
8.
What'd you roll?
An 8.
Oh, you made it. You have to at or below.
Well, I thought the +2, so you
Oh,
add
plus
it.
2. So you gotta do 10. You gotta do 2 luck points.
All right, I'll do it.
All right, so you spend your luck points. Now in 3-2-1 RPG, you can spend your luck, which is your life force, to make and adjust rolls. You can't do it for damage, but if it's a practical thing, like trying to sneak through a crowd to try to get a better look at a dead body, you can absolutely do that. But when you do run out of luck, you die. So you manage to kind of weave through the crowd because lots of people are trying to see who it is and what's going on, and the deputies are trying to hold them back. But you kind of slip through, and you get all the way up to it. Now, what Deputy James did when he covered up the body was he only covered the legs and the feet because that's what people saw on that side. But now as you come around, you notice that it's Sheila. She is in her late 30s, and she is the owner of that surf shack.
Mm.
And she is also very, very blue looking and very, very dead. It's high tide right now, and in the background, you hear the waves kind of crashing in. And as you look around, Bobby, you kind of like look around through the crowd. You kind of hear the waves. Your eye catches something moving towards the houses across the street. And then in a second, it's gone.
Mm. Can I notice any bite marks around the neck?
So
Baron.
you move in closer, and you kind of see the way her head's turned. You can't fully see it, but you see some kind of marking along her neck. And at that point, Deputy James finally breaks his line of sight on Chucky licking that ice cream cone. He sees her, he's like, get out of here. And he runs over, and then he covers the rest of the body with the blanket. And he's trying to chase you off.
So I run back. Chucky, it's vampires. It's the creatures of the night, Chucky.
I told you, I knew it. We've come
saw
here
it on her
every
neck.
year together for years, and I knew the
There has-
vampires were going to be here one
There
day.
has to be a scientific reason. There's no such thing as vampires or Jersey Devils.
There's no such thing as lampreys.
Yeah, what is a lamprey? Isn't that
Uh,
like what the street light? Isn't that a street light?
and of course, she just tells him exactly everything she knows about lampreys.
Yeah, it's just an
Are there saltwater lampreys?
I don't know. I gotta Google that later.
Yeah,
I did.
I know nothing about lampreys.
Yeah. I'm gonna
You know,
say
their
yes.
mouths are in a circle with teeth
Yeah.
Yeah,
all the
isn't it
way.
like a kind of like a leech looking thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like halfway between like a leech and a shy halud.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
just somewhere in the middle.
Nice, nice reference.
I like nerd shit. Um,
Uh,
yeah, you saw something moving. She gives you that info dump. The crowd is finally starting to disperse. Um,
well, we need to find out that
We
this is
need to
obviously
go
not.
get
Yeah,
steaks,
I want to
some
look for
holy water, crucifixes, garlic, silver bullets.
I'm
so
about that life. Before we leave, can I look for evidence of vampire stuff at the surf shack?
Vampirism.
Yeah, are there like bats in the belfry or a swarm of rats or something?
Yeah.
so you at this point when the crowd started to disperse, your parents are calling you back to the hotel. 'Cause it's going to be around 10 o'clock now, and also the town just found a body collectively. Um, so your parents are going to try to bring you back to the hotel. Uh,
Bobby,
Um,
Chucky, mom and
there's
dad want us to go back.
Ro, you go back 'cause you're a baby. Me and Bobby, we need to make a pinky swear, Bobby, that we're gonna sneak out and kill these vampires and save Avon by the sea.
you got it. You got it, Chucky. Let's do this. We got to figure out a plan, but let's go back, appease the parents.
This is
I
going to be
got
the best summer
I got
ever.
preseason football starting in a couple weeks. I got to be on good graces.
so as you guys are going back to the motel, you pass a row of houses, and something that you've noticed in the past from going down there is there are several houses in the town. And it's just something you kind of picked up on as you were riding bikes or just kind of playing around that. A lot of these houses are big, Victorian, beautiful style houses, but some of them have these big planters with these bluish kind of floral, you know, very floral. My mouth today. These bluish, flowery looking things sticking out of them, and they're always placed in the middle of the staircase. So like when you walk up the
Hmm.
stairs, it's like this big obstruction to get to the front door. It's um, this big planter with these bluish flowers in
Game
them.
Runner, I would like to do a folklore check.
Okay,
Frog's
sure.
breath.
Give me a brains check.
All right. 5 out of 8, so pass.
Oh,
So um, because you were enamored with the flowers one day and looked. And flower might not be the right word for it, but my mouth is going to only let me say flower. It's nightshade.
ah,
Oh.
And
aka Vampire's Bane.
and as you walk past this row of houses, you notice one of the planters has been knocked over and destroyed.
Hmm.
Is this house special in any way outside of that?
No, and that's the thing. All of these houses are very well kept. They're very well maintained. The grass is always freshly cut. They get repainted almost every other season to deal with the kind of the rusting of the salt air on the paint. So everything is normally peachy keen, but right now that's something that's kind of standing out a little bit to you. But you make it back to the hotel. Um, it's about midnight. Your parents have finally kind of stopped freaking out, and they're understandably upset because now they not only are they have to be on vacation longer than they want to, they can't even really enjoy it because there was a hurricane and now people are dying in the town. If you want to break out and sneak out without your parents knowing, it's going to take an action check +1 to be able to slip out.
Before that, I'm taking the Bible from the hotel room with me.
Gideon's Bible.
Okay, you got it. You got the Bible. It's in the drawer, and just roll a d10 for me. Tell me if it's high or low.
Low.
Perfect. There is a bookmark in it, and it's an actual $20 bill.
Oh, nice. It was a one, by the way.
I'd
I
like to
rolled.
gather all of my nighttime bug and sea life beach equipment like flashlights, nets.
Okay. So you have 4 inventory slots. Each of you has 4 inventory slots, which we like people to run light and tight when they're running 321 RPG. So yeah, Bible takes up an inventory slot. How many ever things you have is going to take up that many inventory slots. Bet on Fang. Are you taking anything with you?
Yeah, do weapons count as inventory slots in 3-2-1 action?
Yep. But say if you have a gun and bullets, that's one thing. If you have a bow and arrow, that's one slot. A bag of Molotov cocktails, one slot. If you could find a way to duct tape a knife to a spear with a flashlight on it, one slot. So there's ways to get around the 4 slots.
What kind of like motel room is it? Is it like an extended stay?
Yeah, it's like an extended stay kind of
So
room.
is there silverware?
It wouldn't be real silverware. It'd be
No, the silver I'm not worried about. I want to use 2 butter knives to make a makeshift crucifix.
You absolutely can, and that'll be 1 inventory slot. There's tape and stuff you can do it with, rubber bands, whatever. But if you did want to grab knives, they do have knives, and the knives will be damage minus 6
I'll take one too, just in case.
because they're not the sharpest of knives. They're just
Now,
Hey, it is what it is.
if I was wearing a crucifix, that's not one of my inventory slots, was it?
no, because that's just clothes.
How about
Oh,
my
I see.
fangy grill in my mouth?
That's clothes. That's part of your face.
All right, and I had on my character sheet before we started, but without approval from the game runner, a switchblade with a vampire theme. Is that cool to have?
Absolutely.
And is that an
also,
inventory slot?
That'll be a DMG. That'd be a -5, and
so
it does count as an inventory slot.
All right.
if I put on my football pads and helmet, does that count as a slot?
Nope, you're wearing clothes.
Because I want to protect my neck.
Yeah, it only counts if it's something like you're wearing like a bulletproof vest or like a heavy actual armor. Like if you're wearing like a legitimate like night suit of armor, that might be something a little different.
All
but
right.
yeah, you're wearing your football gear, you're good to go.
All right, cool.
What if is it okay if my flashlight has the bulbs that have like daylight? It's like the
This is
daylight.
2012.
I mean, you got it probably at the hardware store. So I don't know if it has like the daylight bulb per se, but it's very bright.
But I definitely
UV
have
lights?
But is it like a regular flashlight or is it like a mag light?
It's like a mag light. It's kind of
Yeah, so if it's one of those like heavier mag lights, you could use that as a weapon, and that would be DMG -6.
All right. And if we're breaking out of this room, I'd like to raid the kitchen in the inn for any garlic I could get my hands on.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's actually garlic, but yes, in the
Like a jar of minced garlic.
it's a jar of minced garlic. Yeah,
Perfect.
You
Like
know,
one of those
it's-
big industrial ones. It's like
yeah,
We
yeah.
are-
It's
the size of my
it's like that
yeah.
big. It's like a yeah,
perfect.
but
And then
it's
I'll
like
also
a vat of garlic.
yeah, jar of garlic. And then can I get like a metal spoon or something for proper flinging? Like one of those industrial kitchen spoons.
yeah. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to make an executive call here because it's technically supporting the weapon, so it's 1 inventory slot.
can we like sneak out and convene at the local church just in case and steal some holy water?
Absolutely. You're gonna have to make an action check +1 to sneak out without your parents knowing.
All right, I'm ready to make that roll.
Yeah, everyone make that roll for me real quick.
It's
Failed.
D10
I got
+1, right?
D10 +1. You have to
I
roll
got
half below your
equal
stat.
an 8 of 8.
I got an 11. I keep rolling 10s.
No, my lord.
Oh boy, I got a 5 out of 6.
Sorry.
All right. So you both managed to sneak out, and I imagine one of you is working the door, the other one's kind of like creeping out of bed. Now, Bobby, you got an 11 out of 8, so you have to spend 3 luck points, or we can see what happens.
Let's see what happens. I can't. I'm already. I'm
All right. So
burning the luck.
you open the door and you get it unlocked and you turn the handle gently, and as you're pulling it, you forgot to take the chain slider off.
Oh,
And you pull it and they go
Move.
click. And your dad wakes up. Ugh.
Kill him. Just kill him.
What's going on? And it's dark and he starts kind of staggering around. He's like, Bobby, you awake? What are you doing?
I thought I heard something outside, Dad. I was just gonna go check real quick.
And your dad is sitting there. Your dad's kind of standing there and he's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's safe for you to do that. Make a charm check for me. Just make a straight charm check.
Cham. Oh no. Okay, I did it. 2 out of 4.
Woohoo!
War.
He looks at you and he's like, and he sees you, and you can see him kind of squinting in the dark, and he's like, I don't know. He's like, you wearing your pads?
Yeah, I got my pads and my helmet on, Dad. I'm good to go.
Right, you'll be fine. Just don't hang out too long. And you can see him. He's kind of like wiggling as he steps. He runs into the bathroom. You hear him kind of like a massive fart,
Nice.
and it's so loud you're able to just kind of slip out the door. Brian, how much luck do you have?
I don't know.
Oh, it's
20 plus 20 plus
20 plus 1d10.
Oh, 20 plus 1d10.
Yeah.
So I got 30.
All right. So minus whatever you used already.
2. So 28.
All right. So you guys managed to meet out on the street. The church is a block away. Everything's generally within walking or bike riding distance in this town.
Where is this Dracula's castle comparatively?
So that is on the other side. That is a little further down the road. That's maybe like a 5-6 minute walk from where you are.
Right. And what makes it a Dracula's castle?
So
The commercials.
it is.
Yeah, all the water slide commercials.
So there was.
Have you ever seen the Dracula's castle once?
Yeah, that's what it is. Wildwood, New Jersey had Dracula's castle, and it is a walk-through haunted house that you can definitely find the maps of on the internet, which I will be procuring for when this actually does become a full adventure. And it's something that is, for like little kids to even like tough-looking teenagers, a haunted house that was super, super scary. To the point where like you've seen like big, tough-looking athletes come walking out of there like with like little tears in their eyes because they take it real seriously there. But it's about halfway down the boardwalk pier.
Yeah, my flashback, or not a flashback, but I'm going to say this was an important part of my childhood and helps shape who I am as a 15-year-old at this point.
I would definitely.
The highlight of every time we come here.
It was a real special place. So you make it to the church, and obviously it's locked. It is nighttime. You're gonna have to pick the lock, which is gonna come at a penalty. However, this is one of the fun things about 321 RPG. It's called Fill the Plot Hole in 2 sentences. If one of you wants to fill the plot hole in 2 sentences, it's going to be a +3 penalty to break into the church, unless fill the plot hole in 2 sentences. How are you good at picking locks?
Well, I definitely, in my hair, I have like some bobby pins. So I have lock picking tools. And also, over the summer, I had been getting into the lock picking community online. I don't know if you know about this whole culture of lock picking.
There's also like hacker clubs do this. Like lock picking is just a regular part of hacker culture.
There it is.
All right, I'm going to wipe the penalty. Good answer.
This is good too because I've been being a petty criminal a lot lately, and I think I've been trying to get Ro to like do stuff for me. Like,
all right.
Gotta get into the safe, Ro.
Who's rolling it?
It's going to have to be you because you were the one who filled the plot hole.
And it's action?
Yeah, if you're going to roll an action check at or below your stat. And in the chat, Betwitch says they learned to lockpick at DEF CON Black Hat 2013. Very cool.
Well, we're in 2012 here, but
yeah, so
DEF
we knew
CON
how to
in Las
lockpick
Vegas.
before you.
It's my first failure.
All right, how
7 out of 6, but I will spend 1 luck point.
Okay. At the very last second, you turn it just right, and you hear the barrel turn and click, and it makes a very loud click. But and the church door is heavy, and it does the thing as it opens. But when it does open, you can see inside the church, St. Catherine's. It's been there for years and years and years before even your parents were coming here on vacation, and it's very beautiful inside. And even with the moonlight coming through the stained glass windows, it's very bright in there. You could see the fonts where they have the holy water, the main stage, the pulpit, everything. What do you want to do?
The problem is I don't have any way to procure the holy water. Does
Um,
anybody have a canteen of some sort, or a water skin, if you will?
yeah, let's go ransack the church. Do they have they have the little font right up front, right? Like Catholic churches have?
Yeah, but there's also like other fonts spread out, and then there is the area where the priest speaks from, where they have the little
The
counter,
altar, if
the
you will.
altar. Yeah.
Is there a giant can in the back that says holy water on it?
No, but
Damn.
there are decanters of holy wine.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
But like, is the wine? I guess the wine is consecrated, though, right?
it is the
If you
literal
break
blood of
into
Christ that was magically transformed by a priest. I was at a wedding recently and I talked to the priest and I was like, "What's in this crazy brass treasure chest you have here?" And they're like, "We lock up all the consecrated or the
consecrated stuff, yeah.
like the bread and the wine." And they're like, "Because after I magically transform it, I don't want people accidentally eating the body of Christ or the blood of Christ."
Yeah,
So,
when I was younger, I definitely I'm a very lapsed Catholic, and like back in the day, like I knew altar boys, and some of them did procure some of the consecrated wine. It got wasted on said consecrated wine. I asked him, I was like, "Oh man," I was like, "You got wasted on consecrated wine? Did you get extra buzz? What'd you get?" And he goes, "Grounded mostly."
Yeah.
For a very, very long time.
is there any empty decanters as well?
Um, Off, if you kind of hook around where the altar is and you see it in the little priest's main area, there's no empty decanters, but there is a bathroom with a sink.
That's not going to help me.
Well,
I don't.
yeah, we could. I'll
Well, I'm
take.
trying to be as PC as possible. I was going to dump wine.
You drink it.
Well, I didn't want to drink it either because if we're going to fight creatures of the night, I need to be on my toes.
Yeah, I have no problem dumping out the wine. I'll drink one for me, one for you, one for me, one for you, and I'll.
Yeah, but I was just okay. I mean, I was trying to less collateral damage as possible was
Well,
the idea.
So
well,
you
he's
drank
all about collateral
you
damage.
drank you drank the holy wine.
Yeah,
I see.
I need to get geared up to fight vampires, and how am I going to do that without my buddy Christ? I'll go I'll point up at the idol
Chucky,
So
hanging on the side of
you're
the
gonna
wall.
go to hell.
make a guts check. So you drink the holy wine. Make a guts check for me.
That is a failure by one.
So
Oh,
do you want to
God damn it.
use
Do
a
I
luck point,
click?
or you take guts penalty?
No, I will lose a. No, I'll take a guts penalty.
All right. So it's been sitting out all day. It is very warmish room temperature. It is like lead in your guts, and you definitely kind of feel it, and you feel like you're about to barf, but you manage to hold it back. But
It's not mixing very well with the ice cream.
it is certainly not
Oh.
mixing well with the ice cream. Oh no.
So then, oh, go ahead.
So what were you gonna say, Brian?
I was just wondering how many. So that's just one decanter of that he polished.
Yeah, he polished. It's a decent sized decanter, but it's just one that he polished.
All right, I'll fill it with holy water.
All right. Um, cool.
What kind of topper are we talking about on this decanter?
It's a glass topper. A glass
So
topper,
like,
like a little
is
quart
is
bottle.
it pretty secure though?
Oh yeah, like you gotta have to give it a pull, and it's gonna make a sound when
All
it
right.
pops out.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to ditch something in my repertoire here. I'm ditching the knife. I'm going all in vamps. It's not gonna be vamps.
That's fine too. Can I grab off of the walls or wherever or hanging whatever is the most weapon-like crucifix that I see in this church?
All right. So there
We
is.
just robbed a church. This is what we do
That's
on
why I didn't want
vacation.
to like at least like drink the wine too. I didn't want to leave a trail.
You earn for a penny, you earn for a pound at this point. Uh, so there is. It's kind of
Chucky's looking forward to telling the story to his friends when he gets back home.
If he
yeah.
gets back home.
It is a, and this is interesting. So, how tall would you say that Chucky is?
He's 15, so I'm going to say he's still growing a little bit, but he's mostly done. We'll say he's on the shorter side. We'll say like 5'4".
Okay. So there is hanging from a wall. It is 5 feet tall. It is a metallic crucifix, but it's got like a roundish handle, like a bow staff, and then it goes up, and at the top of it is a flat crucifix made of bronze. The altar boys would walk down and hold before them as they led to the altar. It's heavy. It's going to be damage -2.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, because this thing is this, it's
Whoa.
it's definitely a heavy piece of metal that you're going to be swinging at something.
Like, isn't a machine gun damage -1?
Machine gun damage is -1, and you get to take multiple shots with it. But
It's not going to collapse your skull like this thing is.
this is a very, very heavy bludgeoning weapon.
Yeah, you
So
said it's a -3?
-2.
Two.
-2. It is an M4 rifle.
Yeah.
That's exactly
That's
the same
awesome.
as an assault rifle. Correct.
Same thing.
Yeah, you're
In
gonna
many
have a hard time.
cases,
You're gonna have a hard time walking it off. Let's just say.
As
Uh,
long as you hit him and then say, "Oh, I kick ass for the Lord."
I'll give you a bonus for that.
I'm a Peter Jackson fanatic. Yeah, I know his horror movie fanatic. You'll
Listen,
also love it.
I've already worked that gag into the Sunrise Limited, so there's definitely, that was the first thing you do, steal from the best. But all right, so you guys gonna head out of the church?
Yeah, we hadn't really
Is there a
well,
rectory in the church? Like a building to the side where the priest lives, and there could be like a little garage, a little shed, like laundry.
There is. And Brian, what were we saying?
I guess we haven't really devised a plan. I wanted to do it on holy ground, so
All
we
right.
can't be eavesdropped by the vamps.
Yeah, so maybe we plan on bringing them back here. We'll leave the door like a paper in the door so it doesn't lock.
Just in
Behind
case.
us.
But I would assume, I guess that this is all this ruckus. I guess the next spot, if we're going to look for vampires, we go to Dracula's castle, right?
Oh my God, Bobby, you were brilliant. You know what though? I don't think there's a big hurry for it. I think we should home alone up this church. I think you're absolutely right. I think we should have like a holy water flings in your face when you open the door. There's like crucifixes that'll I don't know, swing
Or
down
like Rambo when he's got the log with the pudgy sticks on it. We could use
The actual
the life-size
statue of Jesus.
crucifix and then put crucifixes in it so when it comes down it stabs a
That's
vampire.
exactly right. This needs to be like the end of Predator. It needs to be like that one part in Willow where
In Star
Val
Wars?
Kilmer
And
just like
the end of From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. So do you guys want to do that? Do you guys want to take time?
yeah, we'll take 2
Yeah.
hours setting up elaborate traps.
I mean,
Yeah,
you can.
I think that's the move. We gotta lure them, have them chase us back to the church, and that's our final stand. We fight here.
So, Jay, make an action check +1 for me to try to sneak into the garage at the rectory.
Yeah, that's the negative. I do not make it.
Oh no,
You
Father
wanna-
O'Malley is gonna be pissed.
Want to spend luck to make it, or
No, because that's 11 out of 6, so I don't want to spend that much.
all right. So you stumble through it as you're going to the garage, and a light goes on in the rectory, and you hear the priest stumbling and rumbling around, and the door swings open, and there's the priest in pajamas with a double barrel shotgun, like kind of looking all around, trying to see um, what's going on.
I jump into the bushes, into the shadows.
Okay. After a couple of minutes, he kind of goes back inside, and you can see him picking up the phone, and he's like starting to dial. So you think he's probably calling the
God
cops.
damn it. Oh.
I go back in and I tell them that like I try to find something to help, and
I'm like, go watch your step. You're about to get blasted in the face with this Jesus crucifix log trap we've been devising.
Well, some cops might die tonight on accident. They might spring our Jesus traps.
I put my hand on Bobby's shoulder and I go, Bobby, you've always been a real tool jock kind of guy, but that's the coolest thing you've ever said. There just might be hope for you yet.
So are you guys gonna stay there? Or you guys gonna cheese it because there's probably cops coming.
Yeah, we're gonna have to let's beat feet to crap. We'll beat feet to Dracula's castle, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we get our trap set before we left?
I'll say you got most of your traps set.
All right.
most is not all the trap, so the trap is not set.
That's good because we were planning on 15, so we only got like what, 12 done.
You have
roll,
the hot iron that'll come and
Yeah.
roll in the base.
Or like the incense sensor, like the paintball.
Oh yeah.
the paint cans.
roll 2d10 for me, Steve.
That's a 7 and a 3, so 10 total.
You got 10 traps laid.
Ooh, I was only joking, but that's great.
That's fun. I mean, this is the fun 3-2 and RPG. All right. So what 10 traps have you set up?
Nails, obviously, from the pew that people will step on.
Stigmata nails, obviously.
Okay.
We have Jesus crucifix log trap.
Log trap. Okay.
We've got holy water, like in shoe boxes, so
Right.
like to get them to go through, so they'll step into holy water.
Right.
Oh, with the collection plates
Yeah,
filled
yeah.
with holy water.
Mhm.
What do you have, Bobby? The censer incense.
Yeah, so like the incense sensor swing and hit him in the face.
Okay. Got it. What else?
Is there a bell tower?
Yeah, up above.
What if we had a way to where we could pull? I don't know if this is gonna even work. If we could pull it and it'll collapse down on top of a vampire, taking half the church.
We just destroyed the structural integrity of the bell.
That's our last. That's like our Alamo, right?
So I'm gonna say you went up there and you messed around with the screws and stuff, and just I'm gonna say it's gonna be 50-50 on whether it's actually gonna come down or not.
Okay, so but worst case, if we get outran and we could go up there and like the last stand, we can use the bell for something.
2, 3.
Is
All
there
right,
is there nightshade outside of the church at all?
There is. Yeah.
Well, it would gather some nightshade and put it around the windows so they can't go. They have to funnel them
Okay.
through the front door.
And so you're gonna essentially funnel it through the front door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So night say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Think of 3 more as we're going, and then we'll just fill them in. We'll fill them in before you end up if you end up running back there.
There's got to be something with candles. There's a bunch of candles in the church.
Yeah.
Okay, candles.
Some
Yeah,
sort
we
of
can-
Candle
like,
blowtorch.
yeah, exactly. There it is. Like
Got it.
Again, Home Alone style, like right
Yeah.
through one of the doors.
Yeah.
a videotape of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Or what about like so we took a Bible, ripped it all up, right? So there's a bunch of the pages with a giant fan, so the fan will blow the Bible pages onto the vampires.
All right, great.
Oh, and then I got the other one too. So you know how they have the thing that overlooks the main gathering area. Normally there's like an organ up there or something. but holy oiled up the steps so that they're
Ooh, yeah,
slick.
yeah.
Very nice.
Holy oil slick. All right, that's 10. That's good.
There you go. Or no,
See,
down to the basement where the pancake breakfasts happen.
I'm going to say you found enough holy oil to lube up both sets of staircases.
There you
Hey,
go.
Jeez.
But the way you do it is you do it so there's a quick little path
no
that you can
Diddy.
run up and down if you need to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we know
yeah,
where
yeah.
the good places to walk are.
So St. Catherine's has been home alone.
Yeah.
Um, as you escape and you're kind of cutting down the street, heading down towards the boardwalk of Dracula's castle, in the distance you see two squad cars come up, and the priest is sitting there with the shotgun, and he waves them off like it's fine. And like he's like, I looked around, nothing on the perimeter. It's fine. It's fine. The door, they kind of wave the cops off. The cops kind of pull off in different directions. The priest goes back in the house. Um, as you're passing the ice cream shop, and then passing the Pop's Burger joint, you come to an alley where you hear a lot of rustling and kind of what sounds like a person kind of whimpering
Shine
down
the
the alley.
flashlight. I shine the flashlight down there.
So you shine the flashlight, and what you see um, is a man, probably in his early 40s, kind of hunched over and kind of leaned back like this on the ground as another man hunches over him, and you hear like kind of like this weird kind of like chewing and sucking sound going on from the neck area. And when you shine the light, the face turns to you, and you see fangs, bloody fangs popping out from the mouth, and it hisses at you, and it drops the body, and it turns. So good guys always go first, bad guys go second, unless it's a trap. So what do you want to do? There is a young vampire standing in front of you. And one thing that you do notice when you get the flashlight up is the vampire is the person who Deputy James was saying that they found, that they brought down to the.
Bill Jones
Yep.
or the new person. No, because that was the Surf Shack.
Yeah, Sheila was the new person. So yeah, it's Bill Jones, freshly turned vampire. What do you do?
Stake him.
Do we get steaks?
You
No.
did not.
What? Oh, well, you.
I want to take my Bible and like open it up and then like put it on his head.
All right, you just place it on his head, or do you like whack him in the head with it?
No, like hopefully the pages, the holy pages burn him.
So you put,
I hope, is that a thing? The vampire lore?
I have never heard of that.
I mean, it's a holy object, and you open it up. It's Leviticus, and you pop it on his head. You go, "Ah!" And he stops dead in his tracks and stands there for a second, and you see his fingers reach up along the inside of the pages and pull it down and go, "Ha!" And he like hisses at you. The Bible has done nothing to him.
So then I'm gonna throw the holy water into his face.
So you throw the whole bottle at him, or you just kind of squirt it
I
at
want
him.
to splash. I want to say the quintessential line: "Try holy water, death breath," and then throw it in his face.
So you splash it in his face, and he kind of hisses and he recoils back, and then he straightens up and he just kind of wipes it off his face, and leans in a little closer to you. And then when he does that, his nails grow into claws. So what's everyone else doing?
I'm gonna charge at him with the bow staff crucifix
Yeah.
with the intention to build some distance between him and Bobby.
Okay. Two attacks.
Do damage
So
and
roll,
push him.
yeah. Roll D10 twice, and it's going to be -2 on each roll.
That was a 10.
Mhm.
So that's an 8. And then 1. So -1.
Okay, so the first one hits him, and you crack it, and he flies back, and he trips over the body. He was just straining. He hits the ground. And when you whack him, it's the top of the crucifix slashes him across the chest. Jay, what's Rhonda doing?
She's immediately running over to Chucky and Bobby and like, we got to get out of here.
That's what you're doing?
Yeah, we want to run away.
All right. So as you go over and do that, the vampire jumps up, and it starts running at you. And from behind you, you hear, "Get down!" And a twip and a twang, and straight through the heart goes a crossbow bolt. Um, and the vampire like singes up and kind of explodes into dust. And behind you, you see the ice cream woman, Bridget Branson, with a crossbow. She's like, "Come on, kids, we got to get out of here."
Wade, is that you?
So she she
Yeah,
starts.
who's the body that's there?
Um, so she walks over real quick and pops another one into its chest, so to make sure it doesn't turn as well. Um, so she tells you to come with her into the burger shop.
Burger shop or the ice cream parlor?
She,
Burger shop.
she's bringing you to the burger shop.
Yeah. All right.
What did she do to the body?
She popped another arrow into the one that just got drained.
So he doesn't come back as one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it doesn't explode to dust like the other one.
No, because it's too fresh.
All right. And is the body anyone we know?
No, that person, it's just another vacationer in the town.
Damn it, Chucky, get your nose out of the Fangorias and let's get in there.
This is the coolest thing that's ever happened ever.
So
Bridget, I thought you were a real turd this entire time, but turns out you're very cool.
she's like, "Thanks, kid." So she waves you into the burger shop, right?
Wait, before I go on along the way, can I grab one of those arrows, or like, is it a stake, a wooden stake arrow, or one of those like?
It's a wooden, like kind of a wooden stake arrow. Yeah, you
Oh,
can get it from the vampire that exploded.
yeah, and I leave my my net there.
Okay.
Well, clearly the Bible's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burning on contact.
All right, I gotta look this up. It's gotta be a thing.
So do you follow her?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
follow her into the burger
Yeah,
shop.
sorry.
You guys go into the burger shop. She locks the door behind you.
Bridget, I'll take the triple double decker, the one with like 2 pieces of bread and 3 patties.
So Pop is there, and he's like, "Did you get them?" She's like, "I got them." She's like, "They're safe." And he's like, "Oh, you kids must be hungry." He's like, "The grill's still on." Um,
Pop, killing vampires makes me hungrier than anything.
so Pop comes out, and now you've only seen Pop here and there. If you're ever in the burger shop later at night, you've never seen Pop during the day. But as Pop walks in and crosses over around the counter to bring you guys burgers and bring Bridget a burger, one thing you notice is the mirror on the back wall. He's not casting a reflection. You just see plates kind of as he places them down and puts them in front of you. He's like,
Blade?
and she looks at you and she laughs. And she's like, "Pop's cool." She's like, "There's some things you gotta know."
He's the vampire.
And he's like, "Yeah."
I'll whip a spoonful of garlic at him.
And so you hit him with the garlic and he hisses his hat. He hisses and he kind of recoils.
I stand up on the stool and I go, "You are a damn blood-sucking creature of the night." And then I'll hold up my crucifix in front of me.
And he's shaking his hand
What are
off.
these burgers made out of? I've been eating these for years.
He's like, "They're made out of grass-fed beef, you idiot." And he's like, "Ah," and he's like waving his hand. And he's taking a napkin, he's like rubbing the garlic off his hand. And he's like, "Put that thing away, it doesn't do anything." And
Obviously, it does.
And so he sits down. He's like, "There's some things you got to know." He's like, "It's kind of funny, and it was something that when Bram Stoker wrote the book back in the day, that's what people were into." He's like, "But it's foolish of people to think that only one kind of religious iconography could affect a creature of the night." He's like, "Now garlic And he gives you a finger. As you can see, it's true. Wooden stakes, sunlight, all of that is just fine. And he's like, especially the garlic. And
Have you ever kissed a boy vampire Anne Rice style?
and he's like, who do you think Lestat was based on?
Oh my God, Pop, you're so cool.
So what's the deal with the nightshade then?
He's like, that's to keep certain people indoors.
Oh.
Keep them
He's
in.
like,
It's not meant to keep them out. It's meant to keep them in.
He's like, in, out. It's relative. Once you get them in, they got to stay there. He's like, well, the thing you need to know about this town is that
They're all vampires.
Yeah, are we in some sort of Salem Lot style situation here?
not quite. He's like, years ago, the other thing that Bram Stoker got, we'll just say took artistic liberties with, was, you know how they say Dracula went to England?
I guess if you read the book or something.
Like, how old are you kids?
I'm
14.
15.
Yeah, I'm 15 going on. Well, I just turned 15.
And he's like, which one of you is the smart one?
That would be
Obviously,
me.
No.
I've seen Francis Ford Coppola's, Bram Stoker's Dracula, so I know how things
Chucky,
go.
we're in the same grade.
So he looks over at Rhonda.
You said you wouldn't bring that up on vacation. That was a secret.
Oh my God.
That was beautiful.
Bobby's looking at me in a different way now, Rhonda.
So he looks over at Rhonda and he says, the one thing, there were some liberties that were taken in the book. And he's like, and, when you think and you read that he went to England, Dracula actually took a boat towards the New World because things were a little too hot over in Europe for him. Problem was,
So from England to New England.
that was the idea, but the boat went off course.
Jersey.
Landed in Jersey. And those who were supposed to greet him were not there to greet him. And as the months went on, when we searched and tried to find our master, he got lost in the Pine Barrens. And in the Pine Barrens, due to a lack of, you and people like you, he went feral. And
Jersey Devil. I told you.
after a while, got stuck in mid-transformation. So when we found him, by the time we'd found him, we'd only heard about what was going on because we'd heard of the Jersey Devil. And lo and behold, we came to find out that it was our Dark Lord Dracula.
Dracula was the Jersey Devil.
Oh,
Plot
no.
twist.
This is all making so much sense now.
There is an actual Jersey Devil, and you don't want to mess with him. But it took many of us.
What? That's real too?
Yes.
Yeah, lampreys aren't real. Go figure.
Yeah.
Lampreys are pure fiction, kids. Werewolves, the Jersey Devil, all real. I've got a book, Werewolf Stories, all documented, all true. Yeah, my library.
Look, I have a question, Pops.
Mm-hmm.
In Bram Stoker's book, in order for him to be transferred, for him to take a ship, he had to be carried in coffins of his home soil. Is that
True.
part true? Vampires?
It is, and that's the problem that we're running into today. We found him. We found his soil. We brought it back here. We built a community. We made peace with the locals. The reason why you don't ever see any crime in this town as well, and he kind of pops open a little blood bag, and he takes a little sip. And
I knew it. The burgers are people. They're
The
soiling greening us.
the burgers are Wagyu. Stop.
It's fancy.
Yeah, I
Wow,
was
and
gonna
they're
say.
only $1.25?
No, wow.
Wagyu beef
Wow,
in
what's
2020.
What's the margin on this, Pops?
He's like, well, when the money is found money, It's good. So we found him, we dragged him over, we brought him in here, and we buried him under one of the houses. The problem is the hurricane was so bad,
Ah,
as he has been returning to form over time. We were supposed to wake him up in the 70s, and we didn't. And we thought about waking him up in the 80s, and we didn't. And we'd come to love this community so much, we just decided to let sleeping dogs lie. And we have basically had him underground this entire time, but the hurricane was so bad, and the flooding was so bad, whatever little soil that we had left from his homeland got washed away. So he emerged, and he emerged without anyone ready for him to come out. He's once again feral, and he's been stalking the town. And so now we have to do something about it.
So,
Wait, then who
Pops, when
did
you say
Bridget
we,
just smoke?
say that again?
Oh yeah, it was the guy that died, Bill Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, so Pops, when you say we, there's more of you?
Several. Yeah, there's still plenty of us who live in this community. Most
How
of
many of you?
And so he looks at you and he's like, you are the smart one, aren't you?
Top of the class.
He's like, how many planters of nightshade have you seen around the town?
And I tell him, that's okay. I guess that makes sense. All right.
That's how many vampires there are. But again, we're peaceful. We're peaceful people. We take care of the trash that comes through town occasionally. Um,
So wait a minute. We're some kind of monster squad?
Cue
I
the
mean,
music.
They are? Yeah.
I would prefer that you not, and you just let me and Bridget handle it, um, being that she's ex-military and has dealt with strange and unusual things before. But I know kids. Kids are idiots. So uh, I can only tell you to go home because
Pops,
in a few minutes, once you finish those burgers, we have to leave and go hunt him down.
Well, we're
Pops, what
going
would it
with
take
you.
for you to make me a vampire? I think I'm ready. I've been thinking about it a lot for like years now. And I think if I could be like a cool vampire and not one of those blood-sucking fiends of the night.
Chucky, you promised mom and dad that you would pass seventh grade.
Eh,
Wait,
who needs
wait,
that when I
20
could
is
live eternally? Pops, you look old as dirt. How old were you when you got turned to a vampire?
And he's like,
I'm gonna
ah,
be a fresh-faced teenager for eternity.
yeah, like that, like the Twilight movies.
Yeah,
I was a
like
53-year-old land baron in the old country. And
53-year-old land baron. I have no idea what that. Chucky looks like
You
confused. He has no
don't
idea
know
what
what
that even
you
means.
and
don't
he
know what
looks
a baron is? Baron Fangs?
yeah.
Oh yeah, Baron, the land baron, Baron
Yeah.
Fang. That's me.
He's like, I'll tell you what, kid. He's like, get your grades up first, then we'll revisit this conversation.
Oh my
Um,
God, Chucky has had a life-changing experience. He's gonna turn his life around.
so
Hey,
he
so wait a minute, Pops, before we go anymore, are you saying, and she's getting all like this the silverware. Does this work on vampires? She's like stabbing in the stabbing motion with the metal knife.
and he's like, no. He's like, that's the crap I put out for all the bennies. He's like, come on. So him and Bridget lead you to the back. Are you gonna follow them?
Yeah, I want
Yeah,
a
but go ahead. Dude,
vampire hunting crossbow.
Yeah, but I'm gonna
They,
there's
keep.
got to be a guy in a chair back there, right?
Yeah,
Or
who's your
three.
whistler?
so they open up the back room, and as
This
you
is Blade.
enter the back room, you see the first thing you see when the door opens up is you see a massive cork board, with all red string going to different pictures and this and that,
Love it.
and you see different things than you think you would see because it's not so much vampires as it is other types of monsters, including a fish creature that stands kind of like the creature from the Black Lagoon, um,
Monster
like
Squad.
a giant homemade machete made of metal in its hands. And you see what looks like a shadowy picture of the Jersey Devil, or what you think would be the Jersey Devil, um, in different locations on the map all over the country. And so there are like compound bows on the wall, there's silver daggers, there are wooden stakes, plenty in the room. There is also a crossbow, another crossbow, laying around. And she's like, listen, people are, if we survive the night, maybe people never find out about this, maybe people do. But if you're going to walk out of here tonight, even to walk back to your hotel, arm yourself.
I'm already getting a bandolier of like silver daggers, just like I'm ready. And I'm wearing it, so it doesn't count against me, right? Or
Oh,
So you have how many ever weapons you have. If they're on that bandolier, we'll call it one.
okay.
But if you throw them, you're gonna lose them.
Yeah. And did you say there's a lagoon creature in here?
You just see the picture of it on the wall.
Oh, a picture of it. Okay.
so can I get a crossbow
You can.
with wooden bolts? Would you
Yeah.
say?
Absolutely. You get like a little quiver, little leg quiver that you can keep pulling off of. We'll say that there are 6 on the wings, 1 already loaded, another 6 in your leg quiver. Bandolier silver daggers, you got it.
What's the damage on a stake?
So a stake would be -3.
And then how about silver daggers?
Silver daggers will also be -3. We're gonna keep it simple.
With the wood, I assume be -3.
Yeah, we'll just call it -3 across the board.
Anything vampire hunting related?
Yep.
Got it.
Now you're gonna have to drop the vamp down to 0 luck points before you could finally stake it and kill it. But what are you taking, Chucky?
I will also grab bandolier, but of stakes,
Okay.
and then just traditional stake and mallet combo.
Mm.
So I already
Got
have my
it.
bow staff crucifix, but I'd like to get, like instead of a bandolier though, it'll be a like workers,
Little tube up.
yeah, utility belt, tool belt.
Yeah.
It's just like hammers
Got
and stakes.
Yeah. All right. So
This is where she says, so I guess we are some sort of monster squad.
Ro, you said that like 5 times
I wasn't
And I'm
sure
not a
you guys
monster
heard me
squad
the other
yet.
3 times.
until you turn to a werewolf. I get to be a vampire, and then obviously Bobby is a Sasquatch.
yeah,
That works.
and and Pop, when you say that for like the 14th time, Pops looks down at you, like in like a very like grandpa kind of thing, and he kind of looks at you and he gives you a nod and he says, "And vampires got nards too."
All right, Grandpa Monster, just point us to the way to kill this bastard.
They're saying, we heard a racket. We heard over the police band that there was like a racket over at the church. I can't really imagine that's where he would go, but we're gonna see.
No, that was us.
Listen, Pops, like, yeah, just that was us. We'll fess up to this. We have an elaborate series of traps specifically built to kill your kind. You do best not to step foot into that church if you don't want to be completely eradicated.
He just
I think
shakes.
about half of the things. Half of the things.
Yeah. So
Well, they can all still technically maim.
Like the pages of the
All right.
I'm gonna be ageist against Pop. He's old as dirt. I don't know if he has vampire strength, but that guy looks like he could twist an ankle on those stairs.
he just shakes his head. He's like, "I weep for your generation." So
Pops, that's why you need to make me a hot young vampire. You're right. I'm probably too young. I'm gonna spend the next 3 years pumping iron and studying so that you'll make me the most attractive, smart, cool vampire ever.
he's like, "Yeah." He's like, I get where you're coming from. He's like, "I would have loved to have been turned when I was 30." He's like, "Oh, fox." He's like, "All right, we gotta go." We're on the clock. It's about 11. It's about 11:30 now. The moon is high in the sky. Uh, Bridget and Pops are gonna kind of head off in a different direction. Um, where are you guys headed?
Dracula's castle.
Yeah, Dracula's castle.
And they're
Wait,
like,
where
We're
did they
taking
go?
it literal.
he wouldn't go there.
Why wouldn't we just follow them?
Well, they're like, oh, all right, yeah, go to Dracula's castle, and they're kind of like laughing because
Or is this some kind of Scooby-Doo split the party type situation?
they're laughing because they're like, yeah, of course he would go to Dracula's castle.
Yeah, it's like
Hey,
the
here, kids, go play on the boardwalk.
Yeah, it has his name in it. Where else would he be?
yeah, exactly.
They're laughing. They're like, all right, sure, cool.
Hidden in plain sight.
All right, then
Guys, we should go follow them.
That's what I was about to say. Once we're out of sight, walking towards the castle, then we should wrap back around and then sneak around following them.
All right, so you guys are gonna do that?
Yeah.
All right. So each of you make an action check for me. Just make a straight one. We're not gonna make you do anything fancy on this one.
I feel like
Made
they
it.
were being kind of
6 out of
mean and
6.
dismissive.
Yeah, well, I mean, realistic, we are going to kill this whole island
Pops.
of vampires, though, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Pops
whatever.
included.
Let's just make this pact now. Pops is
7
the
and
first to
8
go. I'm
success.
happy.
And you know what, Chucky? You might be next if you have any other big ideas.
You
About
guys,
becoming a vampire.
listen, I'm totally cool with killing all these vampires, but if I get turned to a vampire, you guys better watch out because I'm going to take over this whole non-island island archipelago, but not really an archipelago, vacation spot that I like to call Avon by the sea.
It's actually very beautiful place. But so you guys all pass and like you're following them, but you're following at a good distance where you kind of see them going, and they kind of head off in a different direction from the boardwalk, and then they keep making twists and turns around different blocks and stuff like that, and then you kind of feel like you kind of do a full loop around, and you actually see them going towards Dracula's castle.
Wow. I knew it. The
Son of a
bastards.
bitch.
But they were going to try to kill us first.
Or they were going to just follow us to save us, but really we're following them. I'm
kill
learning
them.
that this is what they do in the shadows.
All right, so they go up and they kind of bust through like an employee entrance to get into Dracula's castle. What are you guys gonna do? Like, and the boardwalk is completely dark, save the moonlight coming in from above. Um, you're gonna pass like the tilt-a-whirl. You're gonna pass some of the different attractions on the boardwalk. Down towards the edge of the boardwalk is where the Ferris wheel is that you can kind of see for miles around. But the Dracula's castle is kind of tucked off to the side. That you can see that from the streets.
And I think
I
we should
say
go.
we just keep following them, right?
Yeah, I think we go in Dracula's castle.
So are you going to go in through the employee side entrance that they broke into? You're going to try to go through the front.
No, we gotta just. I say just. I mean, it's
Yeah.
up to the party. But I say we just follow
Yeah,
less racket.
I agree. Yeah, we wait till they're in the next room and then we'll kind of sneak in. Three Stooges like.
All right.
maybe not
Abbott,
Three Stooges.
Abbott
like.
and Costello meet the mummy style.
Yeah, it's Larry, Curly, and Rowe.
Yeah.
I love it. So you manage to get inside, and when you get inside of this Dracula's castle, it's pretty cool. It is um, a legitimate like carnival ride, but it is done so in the way that where people jump out at you from, they jump at you through the shadows. It's a mixture of a fun house and an actual, almost like a wax museum in a way. And so as you enter the back hallway where the employees go, there's two doors. There's one at the edge that leads to the front of the building, and then there's a hallway that goes along the back. Which way do you want to go?
What was the deal with outside? Was it everything shut down and no one on the boardwalk at all?
Yep,
Or
no one on the boardwalk at all. Just
Okay.
you guys.
Is there any light in this building? Is everything off?
It's actually very dark in this building.
I think you got a flashlight at Row.
I do have a flashlight, but do we want to make that much light everywhere, or should I use my phone?
Yeah. Can we hear?
Dim.
You could use the phone on dim. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we hear where they went?
You don't.
All right. And what were the options for ways to go?
Back hallway or towards the front?
It's got to go towards the front, right?
Okay, let's go towards the front. See if we could find any clues. I want to smell the air. Do I smell blood and guts and feral vampire in the air?
You don't. You mostly smell the garlic that you got on your fingers when you're flinging garlic at the vampire.
Says it works though.
Smells good.
Smells delicious, of course. Like how
Maybe we
much ever
should
garlic they tell you to put in a recipe? 3 times
triple it.
easily.
Hey, before we go, can I have some of that? Go any further? Can I have some of that some garlic?
Yeah, I whap it in her face.
No. And I take it and I just put it in my mouth and I put it into my lip.
And I
Ah,
go,
Oh, like so you got it. You're like chewing tobacco.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it. That's great.
it's gotta burn.
I bet you it does burn a bit.
I bet it does.
So you got your garlic, literally garlic dip.
Ah,
Yeah, I did. Sorry, I apologize. But you make it up to that front door, and you could easily open it up. It's not locked at this hour. It's an employee way to kind of sneak around the back to the front. And when you walk into that front room, what you see are a bunch of couches that kind of look like the couch over my shoulder. Velvet paintings of Dracula. You see a suit of knight armor on both sides, and the tunnel that goes through to the main part of the house, one of the fun house parts of it. And you could actually see the front door of the castle, like right across from it. So you have you could go across the other side and try to get in through another employee door. You can go down the center of the tunnel because it is a tunnel that you would walk through.
I,
Let's
even though
have
it's probably
another listen.
the dumbest thing to do, we should totally go down the tunnel, right? Just so we get the
gotta
experience of Dracula's castle.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we know this pretty well too, like the layout of the public area.
Yeah, you know that this is a turning tunnel. When it's on, when it's active, it's a turning tunnel. And it done so in a way where it kind of like it's like green and black like this and in green and black stripes, and when it tumbles and it turns, it does that kind of like spirally
Yeah, like a Tim Burton movie.
exact
Disorienting.
So what if we turn the whole place on? What if we kick the power to try to discombobulate Dracula?
So the power is currently off everywhere. The power is out because of the storm.
Oh, because
Yeah.
of Hurricane Sandy.
Hurricane Sandy. Yeah.
But this place isn't flooded at all on the boardwalk.
Boardwalk's fine.
All right.
Under
Yeah,
the boardwalk.
I'll do a listen.
Boardwalk.
So
Do I-
you are listening and you hear like a scream and a thump that's coming like from the other side of the tunnel, but like on the next floor up.
I will run as fast as I can, bow staff crucifix forward like a charge. And I'm like, Draco's right here. We gotta go take him out. Come on.
Can I just say that the soundtrack is definitely Inagata Like
Oh yeah, absolutely.
gotta love you. I thought it was gonna be Lost Boys soundtrack. It was like,
So
cry, little sister. That's later for when you die.
That's like wait a minute.
Wait, that's when you die.
You
'cause
die,
of
you
the
die.
sister
I'll
yeah, when
cry.
I die.
so Chucky, you go running through high or low.
High as a kite.
Rhonda, roll
Hi,
d10
then.
for me. Let me know what happens.
I rolled a 6. That's
Okay.
fine.
You managed to get through fast and easy. Who's going next?
I mean, I'll pull up the rear.
All right, Rhonda, you're going through next. Steve, roll a d10 for me.
A 2.
So as Rhonda, are you going through?
Yeah, I went through.
As Rhonda's going through, you hear a and the power turns back on. So PSE&G finally got the power back on. Yeah, music starts playing, the lights go on, and as you're walking through, the tunnel starts to turn. Make an action check for me,
Rhonda?
Rhonda.
I fail 2 by 2.
Right. You want to use 2 luck points to see what happens.
I want to see what happens.
So
Ground to bits.
So you're kind of running through after your brother. It turns and it catches you off guard, and you fall. You take a bad bump to the ground. You lose 3 luck points. You take 3 damage, and it's kind of like turning and you're kind of sliding back down. It's turning and you're sliding back down, but you're able to get back up and kind of move through. What is Bobby Blake doing?
Ooh, I'm gonna help Rhonda up. That's for sure.
Okay.
And
all right,
then
you guys are able to get through together.
Oh, so it's like not like a catwalk over a dizzying turning thing. It's like a physically tumble you like.
No, you ever see the
shining
actual?
rocks.
Yeah. That exists.
Yeah.
It's a lawsuit.
You ever see like the
waiting to happen.
videos of the kids like standing on it and try to like go as high as they can, then they just fall flat down.
I mean, this sounds amazing.
So as they're coming through,
Like action
the other
park.
side first, Chucky.
Yeah.
And what you see from the second floor is Pops come flying down, and he hits the ground, and he kind of bounces a couple times. And when you look up, a clawed hand comes reaching down for you, like a bit long nails, hair going up the arm, very thick. It grabs into you and it pulls you up. You're going to take 5 points of damage from that.
Pops, give me your vampire strength.
Brings you face to face with it. And now how it looks is this. It does look humanoid to a degree. One side of the face looks very handsome. And the other side of the face is kind of distorted and almost kind of gremlin looking, as if it kind of went halfway through the transition to bat without fully completing it. So it's halfway between man and bat. There's black fur on parts of the chest and the arm. The nails are all grown very sharp and pointy. There is a single bat wing coming out of the back of the creature, and the legs are halfway between, like, one's a foot, one's kind of like a bat claw. It's just kind of caught halfway between the transition of the two, and then it goes in to bite you.
Even if I die here, Dracula.
And you're going to take
amazing.
You're going to take 4 points of damage.
I'd like to jump on Dracula and stab him with a silver dagger.
Okay, you're able to do that. You get 2 attacks. So you were able to kind of run up the stairs and you kind of jump over, and you could roll your damage twice.
Okay.
All right, big damage, big damage.
2 and
Yes.
1.
Oh,
2
yes.
0. 2 and 0. Sorry.
2 0. All right, so you get him with 1, and when you do, he drops your brother. And so you're going to take an additional 5 damage for getting dropped, Steve.
Oh,
How high up was I?
When he grabbed you, pulled you up, you're about 10 feet off the ground.
Oh, wow.
It's 1d6 every 10 feet.
Brian, what are you doing?
Rad rule.
I'm going to take aim at Dr. Acula and shoot him with my crossbow.
All right, roll your damage twice.
All right. 5 and an 8.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So what's that with the -3?
Yeah, -3, yeah.
So what's that? 5 and a 3, so 8.
So 8, all right, so still up. What are you doing,
7.
Chucky?
7 or 8. I can't
I
add.
look up at both these guys and Pops, and I'm like, you guys, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here. And then I say out loud, wink. The church is the only safe place. Wink.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So
that's true.
I get up and I go, you ugly half bat, half hairy werewolf living in odd parts of Romania. Your breath is like a necrotic zombie if it made out with Your mom.
Yeah, you
Right, I
scruffy
said
looking nerf herder.
your mom. Let's go.
So are you gonna run back out the tube?
Yeah, I'm
Making
gonna
it
but I'm gonna throw. Actually, I'm gonna throw a spoonful of garlic in its face and then
okay.
run.
Roll a d10 for me. -5.
Mm.
-5. That's a 2.
All right. So it hits him and he hisses. And so when you run through the tube, give me an action check +1.
So that's 5. My action is an 8. That +1 goes to the die roll or to my number.
You add it to your die.
Okay, yeah. So I make it by 2.
So you manage to run through the tunnel. It is pissed, and so it starts flying after you.
Like flying, not just running fast, but like flying.
It's kind of hovering, flying off the ground. So it flies through the tunnel. Um,
I'm still holding on to it.
what's that?
I'm on the I'm
Oh,
on
you're
the
oh, forgive me. I thought you just kind of stabbed it. So you're hanging on to it. Uh,
yeah.
make an action check for me.
I'm screaming.
I fail by 3, but I'm spending.
You spending?
I'm spending. Yeah.
All right. So you managed to hold on. Give me 2 attacks real quick.
1, well, and 3, so 4 total.
For a total. So you like you're kind of like as it's flying, like stab, stab, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
goes through the tunnel. Um, and it catches up to you, Steve, and
I'm
um,
like,
it grabs you and it claws you for 10,
yikes.
Oh my God.
I have
Jeez.
2 luck left.
and then it bites you for 3.
Well, you have no luck
I have
left.
-1 luck.
So
Cry little sister.
it
Wait.
is
Cry, little sister.
so you drop. You're
Brother
hanging on
for your
Dracula. It
brother.
just killed your brother. Um, what are you doing, Bobby?
I guess I'm gonna have to take another. Or you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to take the crucifix from Chucky's dead hands, and I'm going to scream, "Ho ho cuss football rules!" I'm gonna impale Dracula with it.
Oh, I love it. Roll your damage twice.
What's the minus on that 3?
Yeah, you know what, man? I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give you a damage bonus for that. -1 to each roll.
Oh, so that's crap. So it was 8 for one, so 6, and then 4, so 10 damage.
Nice. So you stab it. It's in its guts and it's howling. Um, Bridget comes down and she's yelling at Rhonda, "Tell me to get clear!" And she's trying to fire shots of the crossbow
Jump
bolt.
off. I jump
Jump
off.
off. It fires 2 shots of the crossbow bolt. They go wild. And you're on the ground. And when you hit the ground, pops like kind of sits up. His eyes are red and the fangs are out. And Pops looks at you and says, "You're the smart one. I can save your brother, but he'll never be the same."
Now let him die.
And I go, do it.
Mouthful of garlic. You could probably spit.
Oh yeah, it's garlic spit.
Oh
Yeah.
You want to retcon that since you're riding Dracula, you spit on Dracula the garlic,
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
or you want to hold your garlic dip in your mouth a little longer.
I mean, I would just, oh well, I'll just hold it.
I mean, I think it should be a kiss of death, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm sure it'll pay off eventually.
Yeah.
Chucky, you're kind of like you're at this point where like you kind of like see yourself. You kind of like almost like see yourself.
Like
Like
out of body
you're
experience.
having an out of body experience. You're laying there on the ground. You're all slashed up to shit. Um, and
I go, best vacation ever.
Pops comes running over, and he kneels down beside you and slashes his wrist and opens your mouth and starts pouring blood in. What do you do? What is your spirit saying?
My spirit is like doing like pumping it up. He's like right next to it going, go, 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 go.
And as your life force leaves your body for like the last time, um, your spirit starts to kind of like spark out and then fully disappear. Your eyes open again, but your eyes are as red as a blood moon. And now your metal grill fangs that you came in, they pop out and kind of roll down your shirt as you stand up because you've got real fangs replacing them.
Eternal creepy kid. Forever.
So your base attack, your fisticuffs is now 0. So if you're swinging, you're rolling a d10 straight up.
Wow.
Now
Pretty sure.
Dracula is standing there and he pulls the thing out of his stomach. And one thing that you notice is after he fed on Chucky, his face is starting to kind of uncontort and starting to kind of reform into like a normal face, and the wing on his back is starting to shrink a little bit. Like he's starting to get his powers really back and kind of coming back to form. What are you all gonna do?
We got to kill him.
Stay
Rip his head off.
I want to drink his Dracula blood.
All right, you're gonna fly up and bite him?
Yeah.
Oh, you can fly.
Well,
I could
fly-
fly. Yeah, I know. I could fly, and it's like, oh, ah!
So, just roll a d10.
1.
Okay, so you do 1 point of damage. Yeah, because you're baby fangs. It's like your little.
Yeah, I'm just figuring it out.
Just kind of just trying, like you're like a baby, fucking teeth coming out the first
I
time.
do
See,
in the
this
back
is
of my
where-
head.
Ro,
No,
you got. Oh, go ahead.
I just in the back of my head have this thing where I know there's some movie where when vampires drink other vampire blood, sometimes they explode or something. Even as I go in for that bite, that's in my brain. I'm like, this could explode me, like in that movie.
Especially Dracula.
What
Yeah.
time is it?
What time is it in game?
Yeah.
It's almost midnight. It's the
Ah, crap. We're like
witching hour.
nowhere.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
usually, like, we could have,
Waited till
used
daylight.
the daylight for our advantage, but we're screwed if we do that.
Yeah, should I be concerned if I eat
One of
after
you
midnight?
is.
So maybe this is when Ro uses the garlic lip.
Have to go kiss him? No. That's self-defense. Self-defense. I do on my phone, I switched to the app because I did have an app, a daylight app.
Okay, perfect. So you gonna shine it at him?
I'm gonna shine it.
And then when she
It says,
does
the
that,
power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
and then I'm gonna use that to my advantage and pop a shot, like you, and aim for the light.
Aim for the okay.
No, that's me.
Yeah. So you're putting daylight onto him, right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So
the
when the
cast
daylight
thing.
comes up, he recoils, but Chucky also recoils as well and kind of drops off. So it's a clear shot at Dracula. Roll your damage, Brian. Two damage rolls.
2 damage rolls. 4 damage.
Okay. That is enough to drop Dracula to 0 luck points. So Dracula's on the ground, it's kind of recoiling and trying to get it back together, and it starts crawling towards Rhonda. What are you gonna do, Chucky?
I'm gonna grab him by the legs and then drag him away from Rhonda, and then try to use my vampire strength to throw Dracula through a wall,
You do it.
superhero style.
You blast him right through a wall, right through the front of Dracula's castle.
We were supposed to stake him, Chucky.
He tumbles and he hits the ground and he starts trying to crawl away from you.
I
All right.
run up to him.
Yeah, I'll throw a row. We'll fastball special row at him.
Yeah.
Like a stake in one hand,
Yeah.
silver dagger in the other hand, a lip full of garlic.
So you
A lip full of garlic.
You fastball special your sister. She goes flying. He turns over. You jam a stake into his heart. You jam the silver blade into his chest. and
Spit up the
then
garlic. Spit up the garlic.
just barf the garlic up into the wound. It just starts pouring into the gaping hole in his chest, and you hear a sizzle, and he sits there and he starts like shaking and shaking and shaking, and then he crumbles into dust.
I look at my hands and
Shit,
I'm
I
like,
just killed Dracula.
yeah. I'm like,
I'm a woman now.
I look at myself and I look at Pops and I'm like, oh, do Lost Boy rules apply here? Do we kill the main vampire and then do we all turn to normal or explode into dust?
And he says, "Well, the rule is that, um, the rule is that, if you've not drank in blood yet and you kill the vampire that turned you, then you will turn back into human. The bad news is I don't plan on dying.
Oh,
Good news is you've got a summer job for eternity."
Woohoo!
And that's Avon by the Sea.
Very exciting. Thanks for running.
oh yeah, thank you. It was
Hambone.
awesome. It's tight.
That's where Cry Little Sister comes out.
Yeah.
Cry,
Yeah.
little sister.
And it pans out to the sunrise over the ocean.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're all walking side by
Well,
side, and
maybe
like
not Chucky.
Well, Chucky's putting on shades like
Yeah.
with the has like the zinc style stuff on an umbrella.
It's like Island of Dr. Moreau.
Going
Yeah.
through the credits, Bridget lights Dracula's castle on fire, walks away, crossbow over her shoulder, even though she didn't do much in the situation to help you, except give you weapons. Next part of the credits roll, another screenshot, and it is Rhonda, and they're asking Rhonda, like, "Oh, where's your brother?" And you're like, my brother, got sick and he had to move away. And everyone's like, "Oh my God, Rhonda, we're so sorry." And he flashed it again, and it's Pop yelling at Chucky, "Chucky, table 7."
Just fry cook.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best, sir.
The the post credit scene is like it says like Sunday morning 6 a.m. It's like the old lady gets out of bed, puts her slippers on. It's like a whole like Sunday morning ritual, and you see pictures. She's got awards and like credentials that she's like the New Jersey like organ player of like the millennium, right? She's like the best. Then she like goes to church, unlocks the door, and then the giant crucifix
Oh
comes.
yeah. Yeah, just one thing after another.
Yeah.
She's like crawling up the stairs, gets to the top, falls
Yeah.
down,
The old
goes
like
lady
over a
Mr.
bunch
Bean or
of
something.
collection plates.
triggers every trap.
Everything. And then the credits roll again, and then finally she crawls up and gets to the altar. She's like, "Thank you. God has protected me through all this." And the church bell starts to ring.
Yeah.
It falls right on top of her and kills her.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, thanks, you. I really
So-
appreciate it. Thanks for playing with me tonight. Thanks for doing this
Oh,
live.
no problem. Thanks for actually being vampires, because that would have sucked if we went through all that and it was not vampires. Like, well, come to find out, it's
I like that I made a vampire themed character before I knew it was going to be vampires involved at all, which is very fun.
Yeah, it was worked out perfectly.
Yeah, man, I'm a firm believer in sending people home happy. Hero moment.
Oh, so
home happy.
was it actually vampires?
Oh, the whole time, yeah.
Okay,
So
good.
I spent like a bunch of days down at Avon by the Sea, and there are a lot of houses down there that have the planters in the middle of the porch. And I was like, and years ago, I was like, I wonder why. And I was like, I wonder if it's like a vampire thing. And my mind just kept like going wild. So I just kind of kept rolling with it. And yeah, so yeah, it'll probably be Avalon by the Sea when it finally eventually comes out. But I don't want to get sued by the town.
The best thing, you won't get sued by the town. Well, they got a tourist thing to look forward to. But make sure you do the A in Avon with the fangs at the bottom of the A.
I mean, how could I not? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
super fun. So people listening, go get 321 RPG now and run your own secret
Yeah,
games.
it's a
yes.
really fun game.
So as we wrap this up, why don't you tell everyone where they can find your stuff? Because as much as I want you all, if you're watching this, to back the BackerKit for 321 RPG, please like support my friends because they make incredible art that makes me love this hobby even more. So how about you started with the Neon Lord himself?
So yeah, so neonlords.com pretty much has everything. You can find Neon Lords pretty much anywhere books are sold. You can find it at Amazon, Barnes and Noble, all the fine retailers you would buy books. Also, I write this other game, co-write it with John Hambone McGuire called Zombie Brain Eaters, and we have not only the original book, but we also have Seasons Eatings coming out. It's on pre-order now, where you can gallivant around a mall as a Santa, mall Santa, or Mrs. Claus.
Yeah, when the zombie outbreaks happen, you're in the worst place possible.
Nah, I mean Garland Pines is a very nice place.
It is a lovely place. You can check it any time you like, but you can never leave
Yeah.
on Christmas Eve. Dragon Warrior, where can you find your cool stuff?
Cool. So I'm Steve Albertson, Dragon Warrior of Epic Levels. We do music, so everywhere that you pick up music, like streaming services, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, whatever, look up Epic Levels. We make D&D themed comedy, hip hop records. We also do the Mad Dungeon podcast, which is available everywhere that you listen to podcasts, where every single person on this show has been a participant in that, where we make something fun with other creators. Um, and then yeah, you can find all of our stuff. We also make games and lots of stuff. You can find us at epiclevelsrapgods.com and then epic_levels across socials.
Very cool. And finally, Jay, where do they
All
find your
right.
stuff?
I am the co-creator of Mystic Punks. We are about to hopefully deliver soon our core rule book coming up early next year, and you could find that and order that from Exalted Funeral. You can contact us at Mystic Punks on Instagram or mysticpunks.com, or specifically me at Smago. I also do music. I guess coming soon, I will also be doing stuff with Epic Levels.
Yeah.
Very cool.
With that too, we just did a song for Against the Gloom role-playing game that with Jay that'll be coming out soon, which is available if you back the Against the Gloom Kickstarter. But also, if you want to play Mystic Punks and hang out with uh, most of the people here, we will be at PAX Unplugged just in a couple weeks, where I will be running Mystic Punks in the RPG Library of Alexandria room every morning at 10 a.m. So come on in, say hi to me and Hambone and everyone else.
Yeah, we're
Brian
back
as well.
rolling at PAX Unplugged for sure.
Well, I'll be there.
Well, you can
That-
find me across the internet at
Yeah,
John
yeah, yeah.
RPG. Oh, I know. Well, you're gonna be there in spirit like a Jedi
No,
ghost.
yes, yeah, I'll be Jedi ghosting.
Yeah.
We should know what we should do. We should get like a James T. Kirk standee of like Jay and just carry it all around on
I was thinking, like those in sushi restaurants, they have like that robot, but
Oh yeah.
me zooming in, like, hey guys.
on the iPad. Yeah. Oh, dudes, you guys are awesome. You can find me across the internet, John McGuire RPG. I'm on Blue Sky now, mostly on Instagram. If you want to check out 321 RPG, it's 321rpg.com. No www dot, because I don't know why that doesn't work. If you want to check out our Patreon is free. We are going to have updates every week, 3 times a week, as well as the $3 tier. You are going to get a 1-page, maybe 2-page adventure every month. At the end of the month, this month will be Avon by the Sea, a little workup of what we did here tonight. And please, if you don't mind, our backer kit is running through the 29th of November. We have 2 stretch goals unlocked. The next unlock is at 8 grand, and it is going to be Jay writing an awesome adventure for 321 RPG. And at 10 grand, we get something cool from Epic Levels. So check out our BackerKit, get yourself an expanded rule book, get yourself an Encyclopedia Monstergoria. And until next time, stay safe out there, and may the dice always roll in your favor. Take care.